It's not even about him winning the belt. You know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House card.
Been Jon Jones, will he, won't he? And then he retires and refuses to fight Tom. We don't have to go over all of that once again. But two things that were really funny were he was at the ESPYs, he was on the red carpet, and he was doing an interview with the people on the red carpet. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they were talking to him like he had been retired for 5 years. And they're like, so like, what's it like being out of retirement now and like going out and training? He's like, oh, I'm so sore. I'm like, he's been retired for 2 days. What are you talking about? They were legit talking to him like he was a guy coming out of retirement, like Manny Pacquiao.
Jon Bones Jones has fired back at UFC president Dana White with a clear warning message that's got everyone talking. After White publicly stated he can't risk putting Jones on the historic UFC White House card planned for July 4th, 2026, Jones took to social media with a response that was both diplomatic and defiant. I heard the comments made at last night's press conference. Jones wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "While I was a little disappointed, I'm still in the UFC's drug testing pool, staying sharp, and continuing to train like a professional."
Still talking White House, but Dana's making it very clear. I like the idea of you. I wouldn't deny you. I like the idea of Tom. I wouldn't deny you. I'm not going to wait till then. If you would like to fight on that grass, I just need to see that you're willing to fight at all. And I think that Jon versus Tom got closer than ever for 2025.
Bia. But that's just the beginning of this story. Tonight, we'll break down the entire controversy, examine Dana White's reasoning, and reveal the shocking support Jones is receiving from an unlikely ally, his biggest rival, Daniel Cormier. Stay with us. Let's dive deeper into what sparked this public dispute between two of the UFC's most prominent figures.
In a big position, anywhere, running the risk that something could happen, which means he doesn't go through with it. I just can't do that. And that gets exemplified if we're talking about the White House card, which is near and dear to me, and I want to get perfectly.
The controversy began at Saturday's UFC 318 post-fight press conference in New Orleans, where Dana White was asked about featuring Jon Jones on the proposed White House card, an unprecedented event that would take place at the residence of President Donald Trump on Independence Day 2026. White's response was uncompromising and brutal in its honesty. "It's not even about him winning the belt. You know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions, in a big spot, and have something go wrong, especially the White House card."
And Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the White House card.
This statement references Jones's troubled history outside the octagon, a checkered past that includes the infamous UFC 151 cancellation in 2012, when Jones refused to fight Chael Sonnen on short notice, a 2015 hit-and-run incident that led to his removal from UFC 187, multiple failed drug tests that derailed major fights at UFC 200 and 214, various legal issues that have plagued his career. But Jones, now 38, wasn't about to take this public dismissal lying down. His response revealed both his disappointment and his unwavering determination.
So just as Jon Jones was expressing how much he really wanted to fight at the White House, Dana White says no! He has put his foot down on Jon Jones, and he claims that he cannot risk Jon Jones at the White House. Absolute cinema. He's done with Jon. Just like we all are. I really hope that Dana White stays true to this statement and doesn't do a complete 180 a year from now whenever the White House card is actually coming up. Let's listen to what Dana White had to say about Jon Jones at the White House, and then let's go through Jon Jones crying.
Jon Jones' response to Dana White's comments was measured but powerful, revealing a fighter who sees this White House opportunity as more than just another payday. In his social media response, Jones wrote, "In a recent interview, I shared that the opportunity to fight at the White House gave me something deeper to fight for, a why that goes beyond paychecks or belts. Fighting for my country gives me a greater purpose.
Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden. That just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military. Just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
The former light heavyweight champion who became the youngest UFC champion in history when he defeated Mauricio Shogun Rua in 2011, emphasized that this isn't about personal glory anymore. For me, it's never been just about the opponent. I'm chasing legacy, something timeless, something bigger than the moment, Jones continued.
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. It'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, and I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
This comes after Jones officially retired just last month, relinquishing his heavyweight title to Tom Aspinall, who was elevated to undisputed champion. However, Jones has since re-entered the UFC's drug testing pool and is listed in normal. As an active fighter on their official website, his last fight was a dominant third-round TKO victory over Stipe Miocic at UFC 309 in November 2024, his only defense of the heavyweight title he held for more than 2 years. Jones concluded his message with a firm commitment. So for now, I'll keep grinding, stay patient, and stay faithful. I'm ready to fight on July 4th.
I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military. This is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So
In perhaps the most surprising twist to this story, Jon Jones has received support from the most unexpected source, his greatest rival and bitter enemy, Daniel Cormier. For those who need context, Jones and Cormier have one of the most heated rivalries in UFC history. They fought twice, Jones winning both encounters, and their animosity has been well documented for years. Just recently, their feud reignited when Cormier made comments about wanting to kill Jones in a hypothetical fight at his house, prompting Jones to go on a social media rant about the emotional damage he's inflicted on Cormier. But on a recent episode of Good Guy, Bad Guy, Cormier shocked the MMA world by defending Jones against White's criticism. The history of Jon Jones, him not doing it, is why Dana said that. But ultimately, and I just got to speak truth, in more cases than not, he has shown up. Cormier continued. In more cases than not, since that happened with Chael Sonnen, he has shown up. When he and I were supposed to fight at UFC 200, it didn't happen. And then at UFC 214, he showed up and we fought. Outside of that, he's kind of shown up every other time. This defense is particularly significant because Cormier has been directly affected by Jones' controversies. Their UFC 200 fight was canceled due to Jones' failed drug test. Yet even Cormier acknowledges that Jones has been reliable in recent years. However, Cormier also expressed concerns about Jones potentially retiring immediately after a big win, which could harm the heavyweight division's momentum. Let's examine what's really at stake here. This isn't just any UFC event.
If you were to fight your enemy anywhere or a random place, where would it be? And who would the person that you would throw hands with sight unseen be?
I kind of want the ability to kill him, so I'd like to do it at my house.
There you go. Yeah, me too.
And they can't really do anything.
Yeah,
Well,
who is it,
Who are you
DC?
fighting?
I think we know. I could take a couple guesses who you might fight in your living room.
Yeah.
Does it rhyme with Mon Moons?
Jon Jones has just dropped a bombshell on his longtime rival Daniel Cormier. And this one has the entire MMA community talking.
Hey, it would be good for Conor to come back, but Conor's not having the best time. Conor's got to take care of a couple of things. Conor and that one dude. Remember the one dude at the concert hugging the woman? There's only two people that are having a hard time right now. It's Conor and that dude that got caught.
And Johnny Bones Jones, baby. He's the only other one.
Conor,
Johnny
that dude.
Bones.
That dude. That dude that was hugging that woman and then Conor with that thing that was on him, they tripping. They are really out of control.
I saw Jon Jones is back in the testing pool.
Yes.
Talking about going on the White House card.
Yes.
I think with his extensive criminal record, the Secret Service will let him on the White House grounds.
That's such a good question. Woo.
That's actually a good question. Well, we always have to pass background checks when Trump's there and he got the fight, so I'd imagine he will be. And I gotta be honest with you. All right, so listen. All right. No disrespect to anyone here. I love you guys so much. You can go to the White House and I'm positive you'll win, right? But if we really need an American to win, right, gotta kind of send Jon Jones, don't we? I mean, seriously, like, I mean, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't like him, but it's like, if we need an American to win, don't we just send the guy that always wins?
Yeah, no, he's going.
And he said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And nobody tries harder than me. Are you sure Jon Jones doesn't try a little harder than I do?
I don't know. It's close.
It's close. It's close.
Jones fired back at DC with some of the most intense words we've heard from their rivalry, stating, and I quote, DC said he wants to kill me at his house. I already buried him twice in the octagon. The third time I'm bringing a shovel.
John, can you hear that, John?
You got your ass whooped today, buddy.
No, I didn't. You're a pussy.
Oh, yeah, you did it. I had you on
You're
your back.
such a little.
Had
Oh
you
my
on your
God.
back. I had you on your back. You suck, bro.
You're such a little.
Yo, felt so weak. I'm glad to know that.
You're tiny. I'm like, this dude sucks.
Everybody say you're so strong. You're weak.
Okay.
You're a little fat.
You're a John.
Oh my God, you're so weak.
First off, you hit like a. If you even hit me.
Yeah. I hit like a. But I didn't hit you. You didn't.
You didn't, because I didn't even feel it.
Oh man.
I felt Melky's punch more than yours, you little fucking punk.
Oh yeah, you're so mad. I can hear it in your voice.
Okay, John. I can't wait to beat shit out of you.
Yeah, like just like you did today. You're on your butt.
If you really count today as a fight, you're fucking ignorant. You fucking junior college dropout.
Oh, so
you junior college dropout.
Yeah, that's why I have 10 million in the bank.
You junior college dropout. You're still an idiot.
I'm a junior college knock. I'm a junior college
You're
dropout.
still an idiot. You're still an idiot.
I'm a junior college
You're
dropout.
still an idiot.
I'm a junior
You're
college.
still an idiot. You're still. I don't care how much money you got. You are still a fucking idiot.
Yes, I'm sitting on 10 mil, baby. What you sitting on?
You're an idiot.
Shut up.
You're an idiot.
Shut up.
You're an idiot.
That's right, folks. 8 years after their last fight, the most bitter rivalry in UFC history is heating up once again. Tonight, we're breaking down everything you need to know about this explosive exchange, the history behind their legendary feud, and what this could mean for both fighters moving forward. Let's start with what happened this week that reignited this fire between two UFC legends. During Friday's official UFC 318 weigh-in show, Daniel Cormier was asked a hypothetical question by the panel. If he could face his nemesis anywhere he wanted, who would it be, and where would he choose to fight them? Cormier's response? He said, and we're quoting here, I kind of want the ability to kill him, so I'd like to do it at my house. They can't really do anything.
If you were to fight your enemy anywhere or a random place, where would it be? And who would the person that you would throw hands with sight unseen be?
I kind of want the ability to kill him, so I'd like to do it at my house.
There you go. Yeah, me too.
And they can't really do anything.
Yeah, who is it,
Who are you
DC?
fighting?
I think we know. I could take a couple guesses who you might fight in your living room.
Does it rhyme with Mon Moons?
Now, while Cormier later clarified that he doesn't dislike Jon Jones and thinks he's fine, the damage was already done. Jones caught wind of these comments and absolutely unleashed on social media. First, on Instagram, Jones wrote, "Could you imagine getting your ass kicked for the third time in front of the wife and kids?"
I'm like, this dude sucks.
Everybody say you're so strong. You're weak.
Okay.
You're a little fat.
You're a John.
Oh my God, you're so weak.
First off, you hit like a. If you even hit me.
Yeah. I hit like a. But I didn't hit you. You didn't.
You didn't, because I didn't even feel it.
Oh man.
I felt Melky's punch more than yours, you little fucking punk.
Oh yeah, you're so mad. I can hear it in your voice.
But he wasn't done there. Jones then took to Twitter with even more venom, posting those explosive quotes we mentioned earlier about bringing a shovel and owning a mansion in Cormier's head. In a follow-up tweet, Jones wrote, "A blind man can see the mansion I own in Daniel's head. I just didn't realize how deep his hate still runs. Those ass whoopings must have left more than bruises. I feel like I'm the most painful thing that ever happened to that man's life. Emotional damage. Strong words from Bones, and as of this reporting, Cormier has not yet responded to these latest taunts. To understand why this exchange is so significant, we need to dive into the history of what many consider the greatest rivalry in MMA history.
Dude, you saw me on stage saying, hey guys.
I want to take this time to thank Daniel Cormier for being my biggest rival and motivator.
Why are you guys booing Daniel Cormier?
Yeah, I know.
This guy is a hell of a father. He's a hell of a teammate.
He has absolutely no reason to hang his head.
I aspire to be a lot more like this man.
He has been a model champion.
At that very moment, you were done. I was done, man.
It's over, John. It's over. You came back? It is over, yeah.
Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier first stepped into the octagon together at UFC 182 in January 2015. Jones won that fight by unanimous decision, handing Cormier one of the most heartbreaking losses of his career. But their story didn't end there. The two were scheduled for a rematch at UFC 200 in July 2016, but Jones was pulled from the fight after testing positive for a banned substance just days before the event.
Now, John, there's been a lot of talk about you potentially fighting as a heavyweight, defending your light heavyweight title, becoming a two-division champ. What are your thoughts now? What would you like to do next?
Man, I know there's a guy who's been calling himself champ. I mean, what guy just gives up his belt because somebody else made it home? Daddy's home, DC. Prove to the fans you're a champ. Come get a taste. I'm here. Get your belt back. It'll be waiting right here.
They finally met again at UFC 214 in July 2017, where Jones delivered one of the most devastating head kick knockouts in UFC history, seemingly ending their rivalry once and for all. However, the celebration was short-lived. Jones once again tested positive for a banned substance after the fight, and his knockout victory was overturned to a no contest. This is where Cormier's frustration really stems from. On a recent episode of the Pound for Pound podcast, DC explained, "My frustration is, why did it happen every time? At UFC 182, everyone talked about the drugs. At UFC 200, he tested positive. At UFC 214, he tested positive after the fight. That's where my frustration comes. It's not happening against other guys. It's happening when we fight every time, and that sucks." So officially, their record stands at 1 win for Jones and 1 no contest. But the emotional scars run much deeper than any official record could show.
I fought him when he tested positive for a performance enhancer. My frustration is, why did it happen every time? At UFC 182 when we fought, everybody talk about the drugs, right? The cocaine that he was doing. But also his levels were super low, which are very suspicious. Why? Then when we were supposed to fight at UFC 200, he tests positive, they pull him out of the fight. Why? Then we fight at UFC 214, he tests positive after the fight. Why? That's where my frustration comes. Because you know that I'm going to work my ass off. If you aren't confident you can work at that level, you seek out help. And this is not just him, but all those guys that do cocaine and do drugs. If you do drugs that can ultimately hurt your career, you're going to do things that are going to help your career, meaning steroids. And it's not happening against the other guys. It's happening when we fight every time. And that sucks.
So where do both fighters stand today, and what could this renewed animosity mean for the future? Daniel Cormier retired from active competition after losing to Stipe Miocic at UFC 252 in 2020. He was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in 2022 and now works as one of the organization's lead analysts and commentators. Jon Jones, on the other hand, has had quite the journey. He reigned as UFC light heavyweight champion from 2011 to 2020, then moved up to heavyweight and captured that title in 2023 by defeating Ciryl Gane. Most recently, Jones defended his heavyweight title against Stipe Miocic at UFC 309, where he had a post-fight conversation with President Donald Trump.
Heavyweight division, take the title away from him.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Here's where it gets interesting. Jones announced his retirement from the sport on June 21st. But after hearing about a potential UFC White House event planned for July 2026 as part of America's 250th independence celebration, Bones has hinted at a possible comeback. Jones wants to fight whoever holds the UFC heavyweight belt when he returns, which could be Tom Aspinall or another top contender. He's even mentioned Alex Pereira, as a potential opponent if Poatan moves up to heavyweight. The question everyone's asking, could this renewed beef with Cormier somehow factor into Jones's comeback plans? While a third fight seems unlikely given Cormier's retirement, never say never in the world of combat sports. The MMA community has been buzzing about this latest exchange, and opinions are split as always when it comes to Jon Jones. Some fans see this as vintage Jones, the master psychological warrior who knows exactly how to get under his opponent's skin, even years after their last fight. His ability to live rent-free in his rivals' heads has always been one of his greatest weapons. Others view this as unnecessary drama from someone who should be focused on more pressing matters, like the potential Tom Aspinall unification fight that many fans have been demanding. What's particularly interesting is the timing. This exchange comes right as Jones is back in the UFC's drug testing pool and actively preparing for his 2026 comeback. Some analysts suggest this could be Jones's way of staying relevant and keeping his name in the headlines during his time away from competition. One undeniable thing: Jon Jones knows how to generate buzz. Whether you love him or hate him, he has an unparalleled ability to get people talking. And this latest episode is no exception. The psychological warfare between these two legends continues to captivate fight fans worldwide, proving that some rivalries truly never die. And that's your MMA Central News update on the explosive Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier situation.
I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, and this is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
Jon Jones drops the massive bombshell. The former heavyweight champion has officially ended his 2-week retirement and is now targeting a historic showdown at the White House in 2026.
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. The only thing to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year, Jones revealed. As of right now, Tom Aspinall is the champion, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. It would only be fitting to have an American guy fighting for the championship that night, and I'd be willing to put it all on the line one more time. Stick around as we break down this massive development, analyze the potential matchups, and examine what this means for the heavyweight division. Let's start with the timeline that has everyone scratching their heads. Just last month, Jon Jones made headlines by announcing his retirement from MMA. The MMA world collectively held its breath. Was this really the end of the GOAT's career?
Did you just retire, Jon?
I sure did, Naomi.
But did you mean it?
I did at the time, but I do know that everyone loves a good comeback, right, guys?
Well, that retirement lasted exactly 2 weeks. Just re-entered the testing pool. That lasted for about 2 weeks, Jones acknowledged on social media. Figured we'd keep everyone's options open. What changed his mind? The answer lies in one of the most ambitious events in combat sports history, the UFC's planned White House card for July 2026, celebrating America's 250th anniversary. I think it's exciting, very exciting. I can't promise anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that card, Jones stated. I think it's going to be incredibly iconic. It's going to be historic. In my opinion, it will be just as big as the Thrilla in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle. It's up there with that. It could be bigger than that.
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that part. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. The only thing to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
This isn't just any comeback. This is Jones positioning himself for what could be the most historic fight in UFC history.
Right, everyone, the news has broken. I'm sure everybody's seen it. UFC undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Moving forward, very, very important to me, just that I acknowledge everybody quickly who has supported me in this. I'm not going to say it was a tough time, but a bit of a challenging time over like the last kind of 10, 11 months that I have been inactive due to no fault of my own. But luckily, that is all behind us now. Massively appreciate the support from everybody. Massively appreciate the support going forward. I am going to keep this thing as active as possible. I want to be the best heavyweight ever to walk the face of the earth. I'm going to defend this thing as many times as I possibly can. I'm going to keep you guys entertained. I'm going to really give back to everybody who has shown me support over the last year, over the last 5 years, over the last 10 years. Really appreciate the support and love from everybody. And we're going to see an active, defending UFC heavyweight undisputed champion going forward. Thank you guys, and I'll speak to you soon.
Now let's address the elephant in the room, Tom Aspinall. The British heavyweight has been elevated from interim to undisputed champion following Jones's initial retirement announcement. For months, Aspinall has been calling for this unification bout, even setting the unwanted record of becoming the longest reigning interim champion in UFC history. The frustration was palpable from both Aspinall and the fans, with many accusing Jones of ducking the dangerous Brit. But now, Jones seems ready to face whoever holds the belt. As of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year, he explained.
Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden. That just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military. To be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
This is significant because it suggests Jones is finally willing to face the man many consider his biggest threat in the heavyweight division. Aspinall's knockout power and well-rounded skill set have made him a nightmare matchup for any heavyweight, and at 31 years old, he's entering his prime. The timing works perfectly. Aspinall is expected to defend his title later this year, likely against top contender Cyril Gane, before a potential super fight with Jones at the White House in 2026. But here's where things get interesting. Enter Colby Covington. The former interim welterweight champion has thrown his hat into the ring with a shocking call-out. "Oh, 100%, I'd fight Jones in an open weight class, so 100%, Covington told Fox News. "I got to fight there. The 250th celebration of America, what better way than to do it with the greatest promoters of all time, Donald Trump and Dana White, and Hunter Campbell. So it would be my great honor to fight at the White House on July 4, 2026.
I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House Garden, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, and this is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
Now this might sound crazy. Covington weighs about 90 pounds less than Jones, but there's history here. These two were college roommates, and Jones has made it clear he's not a fan of chaos. In a recent interview, Jones called out the most overrated fighter in the UFC, saying his initials are CC and he's a total D. If you watch the sport, I think people will know who I'm talking about. While an open-weight fight between these two seems unlikely, the personal animosity could make for compelling television if the UFC decides to go down that route.
We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little, we're not, Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. We're going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events, but the UFC fight's going to be a big deal.
Let's talk about what makes this White House card so special. This isn't just another UFC event. This is being positioned as a celebration of America's 250th anniversary, with the backing of President Donald Trump and Dana White. The event is scheduled for July 4th, 2026, and Jones believes it will be just as big as the Thrilla in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle. It's up there with that. It could be bigger than that.
It's been difficult and different. Everything hurts, you know. I'm a lot more sore than I ever remember being, but I know this process very well. I've been winning championships my whole adult life, and I know you got to suffer, and I'm here to do that and make it worth it.
You know, I'm approaching my mid-30s. Do you have any tips for recovery?
Oh, ice baths.
Okay, all right.
Ice baths
that works.
and, yeah, just ice baths. We'll leave it there.
All right, so we're, last question.
For Jones, this represents the perfect swan song. At 37 years old, he's looking for that one final massive payday and a chance to cement his legacy on the biggest stage possible. Fighting at the White House would be unprecedented in modern combat sports. The promotional value alone is staggering. Imagine the buildup, the media coverage, the international attention. This could legitimately be the biggest single fight in UFC history from a cultural and financial standpoint. So, what does this mean for the heavyweight division moving forward?
Since I won that fight, he's gone completely quiet, and he'll continue to go completely quiet about me until he retires, because there's no way on earth that he's going to fight me. Not a chance. I will retire Jon Jones without even fighting him.
First, it gives the division a clear timeline. Aspinall can now defend his title without the cloud of uncertainty hanging over him. He's expected to face Cyril Gane later this year, and if he wins, he'll have a massive super fight with Jones to look forward to. For Jones, this calculated comeback makes perfect sense. He avoids the immediate pressure of defending against Aspinall while giving himself time to prepare for what could be his final fight. The heavyweight division has been in limbo for months, but now there's a clear path forward. Active championship defenses leading up to a historic unification bout at the White House.
Jon Jones has officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the champion. Can you tell us the timeline of Jon accepted the fight, went to Thailand, came back, didn't want the fight? What happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Thailand was the end of it. You know, we were talking about it before that. But yeah, the fight was done. We had the fight done a long time ago. So why he decided not to fight, you guys will have to ask him that.
Is it fair to say he was offered a lot of money to take this fight?
Listen, he was offered what he deserves for that fight.
Dana White hasn't officially responded to Jones's comeback plans, but given the promotional goldmine this represents, it's hard to imagine him not being interested. From a legacy standpoint, this is fascinating. Jones is widely considered the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, with 16 title fight victories and a 13-fight winning streak that spans 6 years.
Losing? You know when they were winning? Gotta ask you. You know what I'm going to ask you first? Jon Jones.
Oh, yeah. That old one. Living his best life, mate, isn't he, in Thailand? So everybody reaches a sell-by date, don't they? Everybody's got a time limit. He's reached it, and we move on.
I reckon anyone else in that position would have been stripped. I was talking to Adam Cattle about it the other week.
Yeah, seen it.
He should be stripped now.
It obviously was a bit annoying at the time, but it's all in the past now. We're moving forward. Everything's good. We can get fighting again. And I just want to get fighting, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Must be fucking sick of getting asked about that, you know.
It's, yeah.
Tom Aspinall has just sent a crystal clear warning message to Jon Jones, and it's not pretty. The British powerhouse claims the UFC GOAT has officially reached his time limit. And he's not the only one calling for drastic action. Paddy Pimblett has joined the chorus, demanding that it's finally time to strip Jon Jones of his heavyweight crown.
We will not be ignored any longer. There is a petition out there to strip Jon Jones of the undisputed UFC heavyweight belt. It has 100,000 signatures. I need you guys to understand how crazy this is. 100,000 signatures of the UFC fan base uniting behind the idea that Jon Jones should not have the undisputed heavyweight world championship, and it should be given to Tom Aspinall, or Tom Aspinall should be able to move on and fight for undisputed against another heavyweight.
With over 190,000 fans signing a petition to strip Jones, Dana White facing intense pressure, and the biggest unification fight in heavyweight history hanging in the balance, we're about to break down everything you need to know about this unprecedented situation.